morning. Welcome to podcast number 31. This is the king of all mediums. And welcome to my podcast. Today I will discuss 4 new finds and talk a little bit about some of the issues going on with gun violence in the country. There were 2 mass shootings in the last couple of days, and my take on it. So first, let's start with the finds, and then we'll go into the main topic. And by the way, wasn't it a beautiful day today? It's going to be 75, I think, tomorrow in New York City. I think it's going to rain. Kind of balmy this time of year, March 24th. Maybe those libs are right with the global warming. I'm always open to interpretations. Okay, so the first item is a cassette, and it's the last time he went by John Cougar Mellencamp, and the name of the album is The Lonesome Jubilee, and I really think he turned the corner with this album. He had written many good songs up till now, but they were more pop anthems. This, he really started to write some really great songs, and tough to say whether it's a 5-star album, but it's close. Paper and Fire is a great song, and got no check on his appetite. He discussed how he used the movie HUD, H-U-D, as kind of an inspiration from that song. Down and Out in Paradise, great song. Check It Out, it's a real song. I want to live the real life. I don't want to watch MTV and the Club Cherry Bomb runs outside one. Excellent song. We Are the People, kind of a protest song. How his thoughts are with everybody. It's a very good song. Empty Hands is an okay song. It's not a great song. It's a good song though. Hard Times for a Honest Man. These are very hard times. And the last 2 songs, that's where maybe we cannot give them the 5 stars. Kind of weak. Hot Dogs and Hamburgers and Rudy Toot Toot. So I definitely give it 4 stars. It's a very strong album for 4 stars. So again, if you have a streaming service, you want to get it, definitely my favorite album by him. First side is just really awesome. The Lonesome Jubilee by John Cougar Mellencamp. What would follow is his next 3 albums. You and Wheels is good too. So, okay, then we'll go to 2 CDs. And I have extra cases I gotta find, but I know what they pretty much are. The 3rd album by the Byrds is called The 5th Dimension, or just 5th Dimension. Now, in this album, Gene Clark, the principal songwriter, leaves the group, and he basically said that the reason why he leaves the group is because of the fear of flying, but the real reason was there was a lot of jealousy against him. He claimed, of course, he was getting more money because he wrote the songs, he got the royalties, but it actually is a better album than the other 2, so it's actually an improvement, as Roger McGuinn and David Crosby, mostly Roger McGuinn, because David Crosby didn't do much. And you also get some in the CD, you get some bonus tracks, which are pretty good. You get a nice little booklet, very nice package they put together. Another thing about CDs, you get a nice little package too. You get bonus tracks, you get a nice little pamphlet. We begin with the 5th Dimension, which is something to Einstein. Wild Mountain Time. Okay song, nothing spectacular. Hey, Mr. Spaceman. That's the 3rd song. I See You. It's a kind of what's happening Not that memorable because I can't remember how it goes. And I've listened to this a few times. Song number 6, I Come and Stand at Every Door. Nothing that great. Next song, track number 7, it's a great song. 8 miles high, 8 miles high. And when you touch down, you find that. Great, great song. Great, great town, know for its sound. I wonder which town it is. Is that San Francisco? Is that LA? LA's not that gray, so I would gather that's San Francisco. Or maybe it's London. I don't know. Track number 8 is a cover of Billy Roberts' Hey Joe, okay? Which probably the best version is Jimi Hendrix. Alright, their version is not that great. Okay, Captain Soul is an instrumental. It's pretty good, actually. John Riley, I do like a lot. That's the 10th track. Very, very good song. And track number 11, 242 Foxtrot, the Learjet song. That pretty much completes the album. The Learjet song is kind of a weird song to a Learjet, okay? And Roger, or Jim McGuinn, I believe at this time, he hasn't changed to Roger yet, befriended the makers of the Learjet, and at this point, so, okay, so, let's see. Now, actually get some interesting bonus tracks. The first one was released as a single and hadn't appeared on the album. It's called Why, which is a pretty good song. Which is a pretty nice song. It's a pretty good song. And if you release a song as a single, it's not going to be a terrible song. I don't think I've never heard of a real terrible single. I've heard ones that aren't that good. They also released a track called I Know My Name. I Know My Rider. Sorry, no. Psychodrama City. Now, 8 Miles High, alternative RCA Studios version. Now, what happened here is an interesting thing. They recorded it in RCA Studios, but Columbia Studios, which is very controlling. Man, they say, you must come to our studios and record it. So then they had to go to RCA, Columbia Studios and record it. So the alternate version remained, and they play it. And also they did the same thing with Why. And John Riley was also, there's an instrumental available. So very good package. Fifth Dimension, highly recommend you pick this up or get it through your streaming services. Very nice find, okay? Alright. Second CD is Pearl, the posthumous release of Janis Joplin. Now, so Janis Joplin, as you know, in the beginning of October sometime, 1970, not that far, maybe two and a half weeks after Jimi Hendrix died over a barbiturate overdose. She died of a heroin overdose. It was a very sad time in the rock and roll, and she died at 27, becoming another member of the 27 Club, and she left a lot of recordings over, and they posthumously released it as the Pearl, okay? The first track is Move Over, which is a great song. You could remember, I know that I need a man, do. You know that I need a man. So you probably recognize that. Next few songs, nothing special. Cry Baby, Woman Left Lonely, Half Moon, Buried Alive in the Blues, My Baby. They're all okay. Nothing to write home about. I think the best of them is Cry Baby, the first one. Okay, number 7, of course, it became a number 1. Her only number 1, Me and Bobby McGee, which was written by Chris Christopherson. Okay, Me and Bobby McGee. The a cappella, Mercedes-Benz. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? All my friends have Porsches, I must make amends. But it sounds like that. uncompleted track that she just did a cappella. Maybe that's how she wrote her songs, and they put in a little made instrumentation. They kind of did a workaround like that. So it sounds uncompleted. Trust me, I don't really remember from the listening, so I really can't comment too much about that. And get it while you can, basically saying, get laid while you can. She's right. And know when you're gonna get out of this life, go to the great beyond, the great, the Bridge of Sighs, whatever it is. So, and there were some bonus tracks. Tell Mama, Little Girl Blue again. I don't usually listen to bonus tracks, so I am familiar with it. Bonus track number 13. Try it a little bit harder. She did that with the her second band. She actually had 3 bands. Big Brother. I forgot the name of the second band. This band, which is the what's the name of this band? But this is her 3rd band actually. I went through Full Tilt Boogie Band, Full Tilt Boogie Band, Full Tilt Boogie Band. So that 3 times says. She did that in Woodstock. Try just a little bit harder. So they have a version with this group and Cry Baby again, which is a pretty good song actually. She does. You have to move over. It's probably one of the better tracks on the album, but not a bad album. I'd probably give it 3.5. You can't get. It's not as good as the Mellencamp album, so you can't give them equal ratings. Okay, we're gonna have to start putting some stuff back because this room is getting very packed. It's easy to do these podcasts and not easy to put stuff back together now. Thing is a poster now. I like the way this guy sent it to me. Let's give compliments. I won't say his name, but maybe sue me or something. But he did a very nice job. Most posters come in these rolly things. He gave me one of these flats. Okay, let's see. Okay, what do we got here? Now, okay, in terms of rock concerts, this concert does not get you a celebration because most people deem it a horrible event. So I wanted to look and see if anyone had ever made a poster, and I thought, no one could make a poster of this, and sure enough, someone did. If you look, it says, what does it say? The Rolling Stones, December 6, 1969, Altamont, okay, Raceway, Livermore, California, and special guests, Grateful Dead, they didn't play, Santana, I think they played, the Jefferson Airplane famously played, okay, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, I think they played, and the Flying Burrito Brothers. I'm trying to figure out, I did order Gimme Shelter, but I never got it. Maybe I never ordered it. I have a problem with eBay, and I'll have to order that again. What happens is they put a limit on when I can order, so I did just order every early Neil Young album. They finally hit me with a limit, so yes, I'm going to have to order the Gimme Shelter again, because that has to be part of the experience. Hey man, so look at that poster. That's a beautiful, that should get this frame. Very nice poster. Gimme Shelter, the Rolling Stones. Make sure you're there, Altamont Raceway. Now, knowing you know what happened. And of course, we never say anything bad about the Hells Angels. They're a good group of guys, and we just try to maintain the peace, and things got a lot of hand, and unfortunately, someone died, and the person did have a gun. We don't know what could have happened if the Hells Angel didn't take action. We don't know. Could have shot Mick Jagger. Could have been a very, very bad outcome. Okay, so now Meredith Hunter was the young black man who, at 19 years old, I believe, and he was and that's where a lot of the controversy. If he was a white kid, a lot of people say, well, he wouldn't have died because he was a black kid. That's why he was. That's why he was stabbed. No, but he did have a gun, And a lot of people felt that the angels would have harassed him because of that. He was with a white girl, and they didn't like that. And we'll never know, unfortunately, because the angels aren't going to say anything. And did he pull out the gun first? We don't know, So, but anyway, very controversial event, and what makes it so controversial, all the visions of hippiedom basically came to an end on that day, that fateful event, Altamont, that event, that one event. It all came to pass, all the beauty, peace, love, freedom, music, fun, that Max Jazzler talked about, and it just all came to an end a few months later, September, October, November, December, 4 months later. It's over. All that vision of utopia and, the naivety of it all came crashing down. The Manson murders in Altamont, this utopian dream was ended, So actually I had a poster, and I got this poster, so I'm going to put it up. So maybe I'll put it next to my Woodstock poster, the yin and yang of man, the duality, the good and evil of man. So let's talk about these two mass shootings that have occurred. One was a 20-year-old kid, and he killed 8 women. 6 of them were Asian women, and a lot of the controversy was it a hate crime, to the point we don't know. My theory is just it's a religion, crazy religion stuff, teaching you to hate having sex, which is just a natural part of the human experience. There's nothing wrong in having sex. There could be problems, of course. Violence could occur if you have sex with someone else's. I guess that's when your religion's prohibitions occur with that. If you start having sex with someone else's mate, but that's just ethics. It has nothing to do with religion, Don't take someone else's mate, right? Now, we're now finding out, of course, the 10 people murdered at that supermarket in Boulder, Colorado, were murdered by a Muslim, Syrian Arab immigrant. And of course, all these wokesters got up, a second white person. Of course, he was not white. Arabs are not white. Sorry, you wokesters. You're not, when you talk about a white person, they're a white European. Like me, I'm a white European. Okay, I'm considered white. This is an Arab. They're not considered white, quote unquote. Okay, so of course they're complaining, these wokesters trying, and they always bring up the race card. They're trying to blame white people. Instead of just saying, some crazy guy just started shooting at people, and they bring up the race card, but then it was found out he was a jihadist, and he wanted to just kill white people. Could have been black people, just happens to be a white area. He killed 10 innocent people. Now, just forgetting all that stuff, because that's not important. The question is, where do we go from here? Now, as an individual, I don't like guns. I have friends that love guns, and they're big Second Amendment people, and they don't want any restrictions on guns. And, I do believe in the Second Amendment. I think that you have the right to bear arms, and that I think that, especially for your home, especially living in a rural area, you have, if a bunch of marauders come in your little suburb. I've seen in New York State, they have, from house to house could be quite a distance. By the time you call police, it's 10, 15 minutes. By the time they get there, especially in suburban and rural areas, the right to bear arms. If they say, no, you can't have a gun, you're dead. You have the right to protect your family, of course. So I'm totally for the Second Amendment. Now, where I differ with a lot of these right wing, gun aficionados is the intent of the Second Amendment. Now, what's the intent when the founding fathers, had it? Is for someone to take a AR-15 and start shooting people. Okay, did they ever imagine that? Did they ever imagine a shopping mall where people can go in? Did they ever imagine a supermarket? Did they ever imagine a lot of people gathering in large places and a person having ability to take a high capacity weapon and start shooting them randomly? I don't think they imagined that. Things were different back then. They had horses and they had, a lot of them raised their own, maybe had a roadside stand. Someone had the little, hens and they had eggs and, you had to go to the buy some more chickens. Maybe Mrs. Calloway has some blueberries or something. So it's a different world. Now you can go into a huge place like a Costco and some nut could conceivably wipe out 20 to 30 people, Like Adam Lanza, he went into an elementary school and proceeded to kill 26 people, 21 children, and 5 teachers, and then himself was another one that's committed suicide. So these are things to consider. Now, these absolutists of the Second Amendment have to consider that, these are to not want to compromise someone is probably folly, because these times are much different when the founding fathers came up. So the question is, how do people, right-minded people, we don't want to take the guns away. We just want to prevent these things from happening again. Of course, better background checks. I mean, obviously, if a Syrian Muslim comes into your gun shop and wants an AR-15, we have to increase the waiting time. Something's not right. Someone buys this weapon that's capable of killing so many people. You can't get it so quickly. There has to be, and the guy was connected with someone who was under investigation. I mean, there has to be a much more thorough background check for such a dangerous weapon. We should make it that someone has to go through the black market. A lot of people, well, they'll just go through a black market. Good, make them go through the black. I'd much rather force a person to go through the black market than be able to buy such a dangerous thing over the counter. You don't want to be able to buy, it's like me, they say, I want an atomic bomb. Okay, what can I get you, sir? I get an atomic bomb. Let me check your, okay, you're okay. Here's the atomic bomb. It's insane, But, a lot of my friends are very right-wing, and they charge it. No, you can't have any limitation of the Second Amendment, My friends are like, I can hold off 100 people. Well, give me a chance, it's not going to work. Okay, so now on the other side, you get these people who want to collect every single gun. That's not going to work either, okay? Take the population in the United States, 330 million. There's probably about 660 million guns out there. These guns are out there, and you're not going to collect them. So there's ammunition, there's everything. Now, my theory is the best way, and I saw this on 60 Minutes, I never understand what happened with this product liability. And it's an interesting thing, how you could possibly stop these mass shootings with product liability. The AR-15 has such a low utility. What is it useful for? To kill people. What else can it be used for? Mass murder. So there should be lawsuits against not. So first of all, this fella, Ali some Muhammad Abdul, whatever his name is, these 10 families aren't going to get any money, so they need to sue the manufacturer of this company, and the jury should be rewarding huge settlements to this company. So this now will force the companies to either stop manufacturing these weapons, okay, or find ways to curb its deadliness, okay? So that was an idea on 60 Minutes. I must have saw this report 20 years ago, and it sounded like we're getting somewhere, but for some reason, I've never heard anything more about it. So product liability is an interesting take on it. So the left, the extreme right is so wacky, and the extreme left too. You're not going to collect all these weapons. It's not happening. And but to me, product liability is a way that you can get at these AR-15 manufacturers. Banning them, it's going to probably cause a black market, but a lot of these AR-15 manufacturers, if you hit them, product liability lawsuits, that could be a way to get at it. Okay, so I thank you for watching the podcast. It's podcast 31. My next podcast will be Thursday night, March 25th. So I hope you have a wonderful day. This is the king of all mediums, and see you soon.